Shashank, great to see you again. And we are in Dehradun. The sun is so bright, but we are sitting here. We are two car guys. The Jimny is waiting. Let's go.
Let's go.
Can't wait. And this time there's a twist.
What is that?
The twist is that this time you're going to drive. And I'm going to sit. Yes.
Oh, yes. I love to drive the Jimny.
I understand.
So I'm fine with it.
You have been driving the company to a greater heights. So it's time to drive the car.
No, Jimny is great.
And this is such a, it's called MOCH, most awaited car of the year, decade, week, century, however you push it. This is such an awaited car, and I am so happy that I'm sitting with you right now, which you're going to tell me everything about Jimny. So it's taken such a long time for it to come finally.
Yeah, so actually, while the three-door Jimny has been in the global markets for a long time,
Sure.
but we never had a five-door Jimny.
Correct.
And when we displayed this three-door Jimny in the Auto Expo in 2019 or 20 it was, at that time we got a feedback from the Indian consumers that it is the five-door Jimny that they are looking at. And therefore we took some additional time, even though the export of the three-door Jimny from Maruti Suzuki
Has been phenomenal.
was started in January 21.
Right.
But here we are with the five-door global unveiling of which was done in the Auto Expo just in January this year. And we are going to start the sale.
So this will be in which all markets except India?
There will be many markets, yes. So we'll have markets in the SAARC, in Latin America, in ASEAN, and so on and so forth.
What is happening? This is the safety because of the...
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, this is German technology.
Yeah. So it's a technology. Actually, it's something which goes beyond the requirement.
Correct, beyond the
thing, because we believe that putting the rear seat belt on is not a practice in our country.
So it's a nice
initially you'll have to remind them. This happens for about 90 seconds, and later on, obviously, when this becomes a habit with the consumers, maybe at that time we can think of removing this sound.
What kind of numbers are you expecting? I'm sure there's such a huge demand, such a huge anticipation.
So actually, the Jimny operates in the entry SUV.
Correct.
Entry SUV is a very large segment, but as it has grown, it's now about 25% of the market.
Right.
It is we see 2-3 sub segments emerging, as it always happens. Whenever a segment gets bigger. And we see the emergence of two more sub segments. One is the urban tech-oriented, feature-wanting consumer.
Right.
That is one type of consumer which that segment has emerged. The other segment which has emerged is the more niche segment, which is the lifestyle SUV.
And this is a combination of both.
So this is the Franks addresses that first one, which is the urban, modern, technology, career-oriented, etc. And somebody is looking for a new sort of the compact SUV, and this is more from a lifestyle perspective. So it also appeals to people who go off-roading, people who are passionate, adventurous, etc. But not just that segment. There also we found from our research a lot of consumers who would like to have this vehicle even for city driving, because while it may not be used for off-roading, it is capable. For example, if you see monsoons in Mumbai, for example. Or you may have or you may have some city roads which are really bad in some parts of the country. So there, while off-roading is not the word to use, but such a vehicle can be used in those urban circumstances as well, because it's very maneuverable. So it's not a very large type of vehicle, but it's got great capabilities of handling, of drivability and performance. So in that sense, it's a great car.
So you're expecting some big numbers?
So at the moment we have bookings of around 30,000 already. Already. Well, we haven't yet announced the prices, which we should be doing.
And the wait period will be what, 5 years, 10 years?
No, it depends. Obviously, when we start a new model, we generally don't have a specific number in mind. And we will see how the bookings proceed from and the demand proceeds from the time when we announce the prices. And then we will obviously modulate our production accordingly.
Okay. So, important question, only one variant. Do you plan to add more variants in the future?
No, there are two variants here.
So, one is the manual.
Manual and the automatic, and within that you have two.
So, I'm saying any other
types.
engine capacity or?
Not right now. We have this 1.5 K15 engine,
right?
Which we believe is very sufficient because it's got great power to weight ratio.
But this is a very old engine. Why? Any reason why you've got it this back?
No. The one which you are referring to probably a K15C,
right? Which
is a newer engine. But this K15B is tuned for better performance, whereas K15C is tuned more from an emission perspective, that is for the fuel efficiency perspective. We believe the consumer of the Jimny will probably put a larger weightage on and you are bang in the middle of the Dehradun.
Exactly.
So yes, this will help. So what I was saying was that maybe this consumer is not so conscious for fuel efficiency as much as for the performance parameters, and that's better from that perspective.
Even this gearbox is quite taken from the.
Yes, but it's very, very sturdy, very tire resistant, and very efficient, and it's great for these, particularly for off-roading. It's a very, very dependable.
Going by the saying, if it aren't broken, don't fix it.
It's actually, you can say that. Yes.
Right.
If it aren't broke, you don't fix.
Some of the highlight features that you think is really going to stand out and compete with. So, supposing if somebody is a Thar buyer, how would you think he will perceive Jimny as?
So Jimny, in the terms of I think comfort and drivability and off-roading capability, is I think super.
Okay.
In fact, even if you look at the fuel efficiency, for example, it gives you about 17 kilometers to the liter, which is also great. And it's got, as you can see, a modern infotainment system. It's got those 6 airbags, great for safety, and it has all the features which make it a great off-roading vehicles, like a ladder frame chassis, or the 3-link rigid axle suspension, or which increases the
tire
contact. Then you have we have of course the capability that it has with the Suzuki 4x4 All Grip Pro system. So those are things which obviously makes it a
So you think
quintessential
people who are buying Jimny are looking at it as a good-looking status lifestyle vehicle, but want to go for an adventure?
Yes, adventure. The type of people who go for adventure. But I'm saying even for people who are not that adventure types, but still would like to have an image of that type, So, but there are some people, for example, who want to look sporty. They aren't really into sports, or they aren't really into sporty, but they want to look.
Yes, I see a lot of aftermarkets coming up and decking up the Jimnys. Even the one I've seen in the demo there.
Yes.
So this roof, is there a weight that it can take, or is it like abroad? It can't take load of about more than 30 kgs, but this can.
No, this can. Actually.
This can.
Yeah. It is really sturdy in that sense.
So you can have a lot of aftermarket.
We have actually developed.
So are you partnering with some aftermarket official accessory guys? Or
no, we are also. We have our official.
Okay, it is. Full marks to you for driving like a pro. Seriously. Amazing driving. You took a turn and I could see the turning radius. I'm not going to say because this video will come before embargo, so I don't want to say anything of my opinion. But Mahindra Thar just did 100,000 units. They celebrated 100,000 units in a couple of days earlier.
Yeah.
What's your 0 to 100 rate is going to be? How soon do you think you'll do it?
So really, I think we would love to do it much faster. But of course, as I said, it all depends on consumer reaction. Once we announce the price, and we'll have to see, once we see the initial trends, we can give a much better idea of what our estimate is when it will hit 100,000 mark.
And do you foresee some more competition coming on its way from other competitors, or in your existing segment? Do you think something comes closest to Jimny, because Jimny is very unique?
Yeah.
As of now.
So it's not going to be easy. First of all, because while the segment, the SUV segment has become large, there are about 46 players. So it's a very crowded segment. It's a very, very crowded segment. But it's not going to be easy, because as I said, this segment is a little more niche. The lifestyle segment which Jimny and Thar appeal to, and volumes where it is profitable and economical for manufacturers to come in, might be limited. And from that angle, I believe that Thar and Jimny are going to be the two products for a long time.
So, I have made a few abbreviations for Jimny, Jimny, and I would like you to hear this.
Okay.
And in case you want to use this for marketing strategies, so you have my number.
Go ahead.
Your call,
Go ahead.
So, a couple of them.
Yeah.
So some are frivolous, so please excuse me on that.
Yeah.
First is Jack of all trades, ingenious marvel of the year. Jimny. Second is just incredibly messy, noisy yarn ball.
Okay.
Third is maybe journeying into majestic natural yonder. Fourth is jetting into mountains, navigating earningly.
Okay.
Fifth is joyful innovation meets nimble youth. Just invented for mud, nature and you. Then, okay, this you might not like. Jeep inspired machine, nimble yet robust. Last two, joyously invigorating machine, never yielding. And last one, joyful, intelligent machine, navigating year round. I think the last one will appeal to you.
I think you have some great, really innovative, descriptions.
So I fit the job for your marketing
position. I think you fit the job completely. And I'm afraid I might lose my job, but what you just said.
You're doing a great job. You're driving the Jimny
really
and the company very well.
Really great.
So tell me something. What are your marketing strategies around it? Because this is going to sell if you don't do anything. So when you have a problem like that, what do?
So, let me tell you, it's a great question.
Yeah.
And, some people have asked me, we have put in a lot of our marketing money in the TVCs we showed when we unveiled it first time in January. And we are going to have a good TVC campaign and a multimedia campaign actually. Very shortly starting the first week of June. So people say when you have these many bookings and you have such a traction already for the brand, why do you want to spend money? The marketing objective goes beyond volumes in this case. So it is also, it's a great rub-off of brand building, and it establishes the codes of SUV for Suzuki Maruti as a brand. And that was something which people were doubting earlier because our presence in the SUV space was rather limited earlier. And with these four brands which we have, the Brezza, the Vitara, the Fronx and the Jimny, that is actually establishing...
And this will be sold under Nexa, sorry to cut you.
This is Nexa. And that would establish the real SUV codes of our Maruti Suzuki brand. And remember, we have also said that we want to be number one in the SUV space in this financial year, 23-24, with these four products that we have. So it is something which has eluded us for some time. While we are number one in hatches, in vans, in MPVs, SUVs, in sedans, it's only the SUV which was the question. So we would like to be number one, and that means that the image of Maruti Suzuki has to be closely related with because the SUV space is expanding with the SUV codes, which is really the strength of Suzuki right from the beginning. In fact, the Jimny has a legacy of 50 years.
Yeah, of course. So, when do we see the Jimny EV next? Will you be working on a Jimny EV?
So, EV, we have plan for 6 models by the time it's 2030. Our first electric vehicle is next year, financial year, the EVX, which we displayed at the Auto Expo in Delhi this year.
But you think Jimny shape would appeal to...
So going forward, we will have these 6 vehicles in different segments. So while I'm not allowed to actually disclose, but it will be across different segments. So that's also our strategy for taking a lead in the EV space as well.
So the drive, what do you feel when you're driving as a consumer? How do you think the drive quality is now?
So I think it's great because...
If you have to suggest to your friend without...
I mean, this floats. I mean, one of my friends was just saying, he drove it in the afternoon today and he was saying, this is like a floating vehicle.
What is one thing you don't like about Jimny? If you think something is lacking in Jimny?
Can't think of something which...
You think the boot space is less? You think that could have...
I think for the type of vehicle it is, it solves the purpose. Yeah, it solves the purpose. And I think very difficult for me to
I know that's a marketing guy in you talking. But so nice of you to say all of this. And you know, when the review video is dropping, guys, stay tuned for that. I'm purposely not driving this car because if I start driving, I'll start bettering out so many things which I should not be saying. So we have heard it from the man himself. It's always a pleasure to drive next to him, whether I'm on the seat or he's on the seat. And if you like this banter, like always, like the last time, drop in your comments. Tell us what you want to know. We will try and cover that in the review. And Shashank, thank you so much.
Thank you.